So The End of Oak Street is directed by David Robert Mitchell, the director of It Follows, which has absolutely zero meaning to me because that movie sucks. Okay, It Follows is trash. I just wanted to make that clear that it is an awful horror movie that we don't need to discuss. Okay, let's review The End of Oak Street.
Just some scary movie.
Get inside! Get inside! Get inside!
Believe whatever doesn't kill you simply makes you strange. See people. They don't know they're dead.
About family when family's all that we got. Everything I would do, you.
What is up, guys? My name is Carter, and welcome back to a brand new review. Yeah, another review, man. First one in August. So The End of Oak Street follows a family of four sitting peacefully when eventually they are teleported back to prehistoric times, and dinosaurs are roaming around Oak Street killing people, so they must work together to try and survive and get home before it is too late. This is, of course, directed by David Robert Mitchell and stars Anne Hathaway and Ewan McGregor. So, did David Robert Mitchell actually make a good movie this time? Let's find out and jump into this review. Let's do this. Please let me know, did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you think it was okay? Did you love it? Please let me know what your thoughts are on The End of Oak Street. This was a movie I was very, very excited for walking into the film. I think the concept is really, really neat. The trailers looked awesome. I mean, let's just be completely honest. Whenever there's a new dinosaur movie coming out, whether it's a Jurassic film or, some other dinosaur film, the trailers always look great, okay? So at this point, it's not even a good sign if the movie's actually, it's not a good sign in the right direction, even if the trailers are good, because the trailers are always good for the dinosaur films. And then sometimes they're great and sometimes they suck. But anyway, the cast here, pretty freaking stacked, man. I mean, you got Ewan McGregor, who I love. Anne Hathaway, who's having a hell of a year, by the way. She has already been in 4 films this year, and she has another one coming out in October, man, with Dakota Johnson and Josh Hartnett. So, man, she's just really having a hell of a year. And yeah, so you got a good cast, and you've got the kid from Cocaine Bear.
The bear.
A bear?
It was bark.
Hey, that's inappropriate.
Love that kid. But anyway, yeah, got a good cast here. The only sign that I was a little worried about was that it's directed by David Robert Mitchell, which I just said in my little intro there. I do not care for It Follows at all. I think it's just an awful horror movie, and I guess I'm the only person in the world that believes that. Everybody else loves this movie and praises it and is oh, it's so good. It's not. I'm not going to go into detail why, because this isn't a review of It Follows, but one day I'll probably do a review and just, explain why it's a terrible film. But we're not going to do that right now. We're discussing The End of Oak Street. So, let's jump into the positives. So my first positive for The End of Oak Street is going to be the concept alone, all right? Every single Jurassic Park / World film always, has a group of characters. They go off to an island and there's dinosaurs. There we go. That's your generic simple premise. This is actually a unique concept where you have a family and then randomly they are teleported to prehistoric times and then there's dinosaurs roaming around. That is such a cool concept. And what I wish they would have done, and I've heard a lot of people say this, is they shouldn't have marketed this movie as a dinosaur film. Have it just a mystery, they're transported to a different time period, but don't show that it's actually a dinosaur film. That would be so intriguing and such a good twist where you're watching the movie and then you're like, holy crap, it's a dinosaur film. I did not see that coming. That would have been awesome. I wish they did that, but still a great concept, okay? The performances are great. Of course, Ewan McGregor and Hathaway, they're great. And you actually buy their chemistry and their marriage. You believe they are a married couple because throughout the film, they have arguments. You have Ewan McGregor's character who's trying to hold this family together. And you have Anne Hathaway's character where, Ewan McGregor's character is worried that she might actually leave the family because she wrote a story where he's okay, she's kind of stating that she wants to leave this family and look for something new. So it's such a good family drama at the start, and I really you know, I buy their chemistry and all that. And the kid actors, who at one point through the movie, I'm like, all right, yep, they're gonna suck. And then my buddy right beside me looked one of the actors up. You shouldn't be on your phones in the middle of the movie, bud, but whatever. And he's like, oh, that's the kid from Cocaine Bear. I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, he's gonna lock in. And then he does. All right, the kid actors, both of them are great. You have the boy who's like 13, he's smoking pot, he's hanging out with his friends and all that, and they're getting into trouble, and he has a crush on the next door neighbor. And, you know, it's your typical boy, okay? It's your typical boy in the 80s. He really reminds me of, like, Mike and Dustin and stuff in Stranger Things, and especially in, like, seasons 1 and 2, maybe even 3 as well. And then you have the girl who I thought was going to be, like, the generic thing, where the girl is just so mean to the guy, or the mom and dad, and she's like, oh, I'm too cool for you, get away from me, you're disgusting, oh my goodness. And no, they didn't do that at all. So I was very, very happy that they didn't do that, because I'm just sick and tired when they do that to, 14, 15-year-old girls. It's just straight up annoying and pisses me off. But they didn't do that, so thank goodness. No, she was actually a likable character. Both kid actors were great in the film, and they were likable characters that you're rooting for. So thankful they did that, okay? So I really enjoyed the performances. I really enjoyed the characters in this movie. I will admit the dinosaurs looked great. This movie mostly relies on CGI, which can be a problem for most of the time. But here, the CGI, all of it looks great. The movie looks lively. It's a colorful film. Looks great. Love the dinosaur. Love the looks of them. The movie is really intense. There's a lot of intense sequences. Some of them do feel like straight out of Jurassic Park. Like David Robert Mitchell watched Jurassic Park. Loves that movie so much. He's like, okay, so let's just add in a couple of sequences. I don't know if he's paying homage to that great classic, or he just wants to rip them off and just copy that film. I don't know. But the movie was intense. Some great dinosaur sequences. Loved it. The movie does push the PG-13 rating. I wish this movie was rated R, because I wanted some good, guts spilled out, that kind of stuff. A movie like this, you're like, oh, I wish it was rated R. This could have been something good. Unfortunately, it wasn't. It's rated PG-13, 14A in Canada. And, the kills are actually pretty good for a PG-13 movie. There's, like, heads being chomped, not ripped off, but, you get to see a leg ripped off eventually in the film. You get some good kills for a PG-13 film. I'm not saying good kills overall, just for a PG-13 film. Get that, okay? And I love the 80s look in the film. I think the film masters the 80s. I love when movies and TV shows are set in the 80s. I wish I grew up in the 80s, honestly. That looked like such a fun decade. So I love the look of it. The telephones, it looks like the 80s. The soundtrack in this movie is also pretty good. You have that song, it's like Valerie or whatever, I don't know. But you got a good soundtrack here. And I think that's it. So let's dive into the negatives now. Okay, so I got a lot of issues with this movie, starting off with the dialogue. Some of the dialogue in this movie, I don't know what it was, but kind of annoyed me. Like, there's some dialogue and some moments when, especially the kid actors, when they say something, it sounds like a 7-year-old wrote the script for this film. And there's one scene, it's like, this kid got beat up, and then his sister runs over. It's one of the dumbest things ever. And the first reaction she says, oh, your face looks like a pepperoni pizza. One of the dumbest dialogue moments ever in a film. Like, that is... I was, like, in disbelief that somebody wrote that line in a film. That was, like, one of the dumbest moments ever. And there are a couple other lines of dialogue throughout the film. I'm just like, what is happening? Okay, so big issue there. The character decisions and the logic in this movie makes no sense. This movie, unlike Jurassic Park, is a really stupid movie, okay? This movie is over the top. It's ridiculous. There are moments where I feel like I lose IQ points watching this. And, again, I go into spoilers here, so you've been warned. There's a sequence where this kid breaks or, like, sprains his ankle or something, right? And then he sees his dad over there, and then he just magically can just run. He's been limping for a little bit now, and then he can just run. He can just run over to his dad. Like, it's just stupid. And there's many sequences where I'm just like, good gosh, you're such an idiot. Like, There is a moment where Anne Hathaway's character has a freaking gun. She shoots a dinosaur, and then she's gonna shoot it again. And then Ewan McGregor's character comes over and he's like, no, leave it. Let's just get out of here. Like, shoot the dinosaur. Finish the job. All right? And then there's another sequence where a character dies because the character hit the dinosaur once and then runs over to see if his family's okay. And then he dies because he didn't finish the job. Finish the freaking job, okay? It's not that hard. So there are tons of moments in this movie where it's just filled with insufferable character decisions and logic choices where I just feel like I lose IQ points watching this film. So it was a very frustrating experience here. And another negative, and this is going to be a very controversial thing. There's some people that like the ending to this film and some people that don't. And I hated the ending to this film. So the movie is a very short film. It gets in, it gets out, it doesn't overstay its welcome. It's only like 90-something minutes, so it's a very short movie. And the way the movie ends, first of all, feels extremely rushed and just out of place. And it feels like the movie's like setting up the third act, okay? It feels like it's getting into the third act, we're gonna have like one final dinosaur fight or whatever. And then it just never happens, and then it's just like, actually, no. This is just the ending of the movie, all right? We skipped the entire third act, all right? It doesn't feel like we ever got to the third act, which is kind of disappointing. And basically, there's like the teleportation portals or whatever that the kids find, and they jump through it, and yay, they're home. And then they realize that the thing that the big portal circle thing that takes like a specific street to the prehistoric times keeps happening throughout the world. And then it's going to happen again. So they're like, oh, wait, we can save our dad. And they just know this or something. And, so they go save their dad because he dies earlier on in the film, which I was going to say. So I literally said this out loud to my friends. There was like 3 of them with me. I brought 3 of my best friends. We were watching the film. And I said, oh, this is such a predictable movie. And then the dad dies. And I was like, holy crap. I did not see that coming. I didn't think they were going to go there. They killed off the dad, Ewan McGregor's character. I was like, oh my gosh, my mind was blown. And then the ending brings him back. And I was like, all that shock and just amaze that I experienced watching that sequence where he dies was all gone. All gone because the movie was so stupid. They bring him back at the end, so there's no shock value. This movie does nothing new. I hate when movies do that, where they kill off a character, and then by the end of the movie, oh, he or she is back to life. So it doesn't even matter anymore. The movie could be memorable if they killed off a character, a lovable character. Instead, they don't do that, okay? It's so stupid that movies do that these days, and I really hated that. Also, it really makes zero sense if the dad is alive, because that means there is a second mom, second kids, and the movie doesn't explore that, it just ends. So it just feels like, not a cliffhanger, but it just like throws this at you and just ends. It's like a ball in the face, basically, where it's just like a ball in the face and then it just ends. You know, you don't get to see the injury or anything like that, all right? So it's just really freaking annoying that they did that. I hated the ending. I thought it was really stupid, dumb way to end the movie. It should have just ended the movie with them going back home, escaping, blah, 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 blah. Oh, man. Yeah. A lot of dumb things in this film. So let's head to the ratings. Okay, so The End of Oak Street, you know, there's a lot of things I loved about the movie and a lot of things I hated about the film. So it's kind of mid, in my opinion. I'm going to give The End of Oak Street a 5.5 out of 10. If you watched my short, I, was calling this movie dog crap and all. I don't think it's, like, atrocious. It's definitely one of the worst movies of the year, but, like, it's only a 5.5 out of 10. I don't think this movie's bad. It is just, like, I was incredibly disappointed with this film. It should have been better with a concept like this. And now, David Robert Mitchell is probably one of my least favorite directors of all time. If he's made 2 projects that have great concepts, but he just ruins them. So, whenever I hear his name attached to another project, I'll make sure not to go see it. But anyway, that was my review for The End of Oak Street. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe. Please like and subscribe and comment your thoughts on The End of Oak Street. And I'll see you guys in the next one.